Hey everyone, today's video is about when you find out that your ex stalks you. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and let's get going. Living with two poor heroes like Bakugo and Kirishima has its perks. You have never felt safer. Not with their impressive strength, their ability to face down villains, or their protectiveness that always seems to be switched on. Being in a relationship with them has given you a sense of security that you had never known, especially after everything that happened with your ex. But as life would have it, that sense of peace was about to be disturbed in a way that none of you anticipated. It started with small things, a familiar car parked near your workplace for days at a time, your phone receiving blocked number calls more frequently, the feeling of someone watching you when you left the house. You tried to brush it off as coincidence at first. But soon, the familiar dread crept up your spine. Today was supposed to be a peaceful day. You, Kirishima, and Bakugo had planned to spend your rare day off together, curled up at home with the good food, and maybe a movie marathon. Kirishima was already in the kitchen, preparing one of his favorite hearty meals, while Bakugo, unsurprisingly, was still sprawled out in bed. You were standing by the window in your shared apartment, looking down at the street below, when your phone buzzed on the counter. Blocked number. A chill ran through you. You stared at the phone, unsure if you would answer. Before you could decide, Baku's gravely voice pulled you from your thoughts. "What's wrong?" he asked, his voice still thick with sleep as he rubbed the back of his neck and looked at you through half-lidded eyes. "Well, You started, still staring at the phone. It buzzed again. Bakugo was on his feet instantly. "Answer it." You shook your head, your gut telling you not to. At that moment, Kirishima poked his head around the corner, a bright grin on his face. "Babe, breakfast is ready. What's going on?" The phone buzzed again, but this time, Bakugo was quicker. He snatched the device from the counter and answered it, his eyes narrowing as he pressed it to his ear. "Who the hell is this?" he growled, his posture shifting from relaxed to protective in an instant. There was a very long pause, and Bakugo's eyes flickered to you. "You're making a big mistake," he snarled, before ending the call and tossing the phone onto the counter. "What did they say?" you asked, your voice quieter than you intended. Bakugo's crimson eyes burned with fury, but he softened his expression as he looked at you. "That bastard," he muttered. "He's been watching you." You felt Kirishima's presence behind you, his hand coming up to rest on your shoulder, grounding you as he panicked. "Your ex?" he asked gently, though you could hear the edge in his voice. You nodded, feeling a lump form in your throat. "I really thought he was gone. He hasn't bothered me in months." Bakugo ran a hand through his spiky hair, pacing the small space in front of the window. "Well, he's been following you for days, hasn't he? That car you mentioned, it's probably him." Your stomach twisted. The signs had been there, but you had ignored them, too scared to admit the truth. You thought that you were really overreacting. I should have done something sooner," you muttered, voice barely above whisper. "I just really didn't want to worry you guys." "Hey." Kirishima's voice was soft as he turned you to face him, his strong hands gently holding your arms. "You don't need to go through this alone. We're here for you, okay?" You nodded, tears stinging your eyes. Kirishima always knew how to calm you down, his warmth and reassurance easing the tension in your chest. "We're not gonna let that asshole get near you," Bakugo snapped, his tone filled with a mix of fury and determination. "Not while we're here." Kirishima smiled, though his eyes were serious. "Babe, if that guy thinks he can mess with you, he's got another thing coming. We're gonna handle this together." He felt a surge of relief at their words, but the fear was still there, lingering in the back of your mind. But what if he... No what ifs. Bakugo interrupted, stepping closer to you and placing firm hand on your waist. We'll make sure he regrets ever coming near you. Kirishima leans down and kisses your forehead. We're with you, okay? Always. Over the next few days, the tension in the apartment was palpable. Bakugo was constantly on edge, his sharp instincts keeping him alert for any sign of danger. Kirishima tried his best to keep things light, but even he couldn't hide the worry that was etched into his usually cheerful expression. The calls didn't stop, and that stalking didn't stop either. Bakugo took it upon himself to install new security measures in your apartment, including cameras, new locks, and even a direct line to the Pro Hero Agency if anything happened while they weren't around. You couldn't help but feel a mix of gratitude and guilt. You hated that they had to go through this with you. One evening, after a very long day of patrol, the three of you were sitting together on the couch, a movie playing on the TV, though none of you were really watching it. Bakugo's arm was draped over your shoulders, and Kirishima sat on the other side, his hand resting on your thigh. Your phone buzzed again, and you tensed, the familiar fear creeping up your spine. Bakugo immediately stepped in beside you. Give it here. You handed him the phone without hesitation, and he answered it, his voice still dangerous. If you don't stop calling her, I'm gonna blow your damn head. Got that. The phone went dead, and Bakugo threw it onto the coffee table, his expression stormy. Kirishima rubbed your arm soothingly. We need to get the police involved. He's not gonna stop on his own. You nodded, though the idea of involving the authorities made you nervous. Tomorrow, Bakugo said, his voice firm. We're going to the police, and if they don't handle it, I will. Kirishima leaned in and kissed your forehead. You'll be safe, babe. We'll really make sure of it. 2 days later, things took a turn for the worse. You were walking back to your apartment after running some rounds, your heart pounding in your chest, and as you approached your building, you noticed something that made your blood run cold. There, leaning against the wall across the street, was your ex. He was watching you, a twisted smirk on his face. You froze, your stomach turning with fear. He hadn't made an attempt to approach you before, at least not physically, but now he was here, standing just feet away from you. His presence sending a wave of terror through your body. Your first instinct was to run, but your feet wouldn't move. You were rooted to spot, and your mind was racing with panic. Hey there, he called out, his voice sending a shiver down your spine. Long time no see. You fumbled for your phone, your hands shaking as you tried to dial Bakugo's number, but before you could press the button, your ex started walking towards you. Don't you dare come near me, he managed to say, your voice shaking as you stepped back. Your ex's smile widened, that twisted look in his eyes making your stomach turn. Come on, don't be like that. I just want to talk. You didn't respond. Instead, your thumb pressed down on Bakugo's name, the phone ringing in your ear as you backed away. You could feel your heart pounding, each beat drumming in your ears as your ex took another closer step. Then, Bakugo's voice cut through the phone. What is it? You could barely speak. He's here. Outside. I'm on my way, Wyon. Stay where you are. Don't let him touch you. And before you could respond, the line went dead. You looked up to see your ex now feet away from you. Who was that? He asked. Your new boyfriend? Fear gripped you as you stood your ground. Leave. Now. The pro heroes are involved, and if you don't go, you're going to regret it. He laughed, You think they scare me. I've been watching you, every day, everywhere you go. Your breath edged as the reality of his words sank in. Every time you had felt that eerie sensation of being watched, it was him. You don't belong with these assholes. I'm the only one you should be with. I've been patient, waiting for you to realize it. But you're just playing hard to get. Your entire body was trembling now. You needed to hold on just a little longer. Bakugo and Kirishima will be here soon. But your ex just kept advancing, closing the distance between you. His hand reached out, fingers brushing your arm. "Don't touch me," you shouted, but your voice sounded weaker than you wanted. "You think you can keep running from me, but I'm not going anywhere, Ryan." You were about to scream for help when suddenly a deep, furious voice rang out behind you. "Get your filthy hands off of her." Your ex's head snapped up just as Bakugo came barreling down the street, his crimson eyes blazing with unrestrained fury. Kirishima wasn't far behind, his expression just as fierce. Your ex's smug expression faltered for a moment as Bakugo stomped forward. He wasted no time, grabbing your ex by the collar of his shirt and slamming him into the brick wall behind him. "You think you can touch her? Or watch her? You're dead, you bastard." "Hey man, I was just..." "Shut the hell up. You've been stalking her for weeks, haven't you? Thinking no one would stop you. And that would end now." Kirishima was at your side. "Are you okay?" he asked, his hands resting on your shoulders as he checked you over. You nodded. "Yes. He was just about to. Not anymore. We're here now." Meanwhile, Bakugo's patience had run out. With one stepped movement, he slammed your ex into the wall again. "I should kill you, but lucky for you, the cops are already involved. They'll be here any second." You can't do this. I didn't do anything." Bakugo's grip tightened. "You didn't do anything," he repeated mockingly. "Stalking her, threatening her, that's nothing to you." "Man, you really screwed up." Kirishima stepped forward. "You're lucky we don't handle this the old-fashioned way. You should have stayed gone," Bakugo added. "But now, you're gonna regret ever coming near her." And just as Bakugo was about to deliver another verbal blow, the sound of sirens filled the air. Within minutes, the officers were taking your ex into custody, slapping handcuffs on him. As they read him his rights, he barely resisted, too terrified of what Bakugo might do. As the police car pulled away, Bakugo let out a slow, angry breath, his hands clenched in defense at his sides. "Should have blown this damn head off," he muttered. Kirishima chuckled softly. "And get yourself arrested. Nah, man, it's better this way." "You okay, babe?" Bakugo said. "Yes, I am." Kirishima pulled you in closer. "We're always gonna protect you." "Yes," Bakugo added. "No one's ever gonna hurt you while we're around." You managed a smooth smile. Now, despite everything, you knew that you were safer. Truly safe. And as they both wrapped their arms around you, holding you close, you knew that without a doubt that they were going to protect you and that they meant every word. Thank you guys for listening. Hope you liked this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and goodbye.